Well, today we'd be at the Royal Melbourne Show and doing a wander around the grounds. Of course, you can't go past the livestock pavilion where all around you will see hundreds or thousands of fleeces from exhibitors both within Victoria and interstate. Today on Celebrating the Show Online, my guest is a woman who is probably one of the most passionate advocates for the wonderful fibre that is wool. Samantha Wan, welcome to the program.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Lyndsey. Thanks for having me.
Now, for someone who is so passionate about wool, did you grow up around sheep?
Strangely, no. I'm actually had a great start in a little western suburb, Sydney suburb, and it's amazing where wool can take you to, speaking with you now about the show and wool itself.
How did you fall in love with wool? What happened?
It all started with a pretty excellent and enthusiastic agriculture teacher in high school. Great opportunities going to regional shows and seeing wool producers and different livestock and just getting caught up in this amazing industry and how much people are passionate and the opportunities that are out there.
You have this fantastic job with elders based in Victoria. Tell us a bit about your role and what a normal day outside of COVID looks like for you.
Normal's a little bit different nowadays. We're actually right in the swing of ram sale season. Unfortunately, I have not been able to see a single ram come through except for on the screen. With elders, I'm the wool business specialist there, so working as a wool broker and also an auctioneer. Normal days is getting wool to the point that we can have it ready for sale into the auctions and being able to find the way to best make as much money for our clients for them to invest back into their business. So it's a pretty exciting role that takes you all across the way.
Now, your first Royal Melbourne show was not actually involved with the fleece section or the wool judging section I can see behind me. Where did you start out?
Yeah, that's correct, Lyndsey. So I actually went to uni up at Sydney Uni, and some great friends of mine actually run the dairy demonstration shed, and they needed a hand. So my first time at Melbourne Royal was actually teaching kids how to milk cows, which for me needed a really quick refresher, which was amazing.
Well, it's so much of it is about education. So why don't we do some educating now? Because there'll be boys and girls and mums and dads watching right now that are not from a sheep or wool production background. What's going on behind me in this photo?
So what we've got here is the sheep are lined up, and if the photo was a bit wider, you'd be able to see how many were in that class. And the judge will come along and go around the sheep, so to see all angles, making sure how they're standing. Right here we've got the judge who's actually parting the fleece. So he's only so much can be seen from the outside, and when the wool is shorn, you've got to be able to see right down to the length of the fibre. So he's looking for crimp definition, how much that dust is going in through the fibre, and just picking out like the good traits of it to find out how it ranks against all the other sheep lined up there.
Now, I notice when I walk around the livestock pavilion there, you've actually got classes for individual regions across Victoria. Is there actually a difference in the wool that's produced across those regions?
There very much is. So the way Australia is in terms of geography, there's different areas that might have different levels of rainfall or different types of dust, and that very much reflects in the fleece because wool is a natural fibre, and the animals are out there, converting sunshine and grass into this amazing fibre. So different regions can reflect into those fleeces that come through to judging. So it just makes sure that when you're comparing apples with apples to be actually give everybody an even playing field.
Is there a particular person who really embodies the spirit of the Royal Melbourne Show in your eyes?
With my involvement, I think the show itself is a person, so I actually can't pinpoint one. There are so many amazing people who've spent up to 50 years judging or just stewarding, not even just stewarding, being part of it every step of the way. So different committees handle things differently, and I just think the entire show in itself is a testament to those people anyway. So I can't pinpoint one. Sorry, Lyndsey.
It's all right. There's so many special moments, though, and special people that are recognised throughout the long history of the Royal Melbourne Show. And it was this time last year that we would have been seeing the Beatons from Kevlin Polmerino stud being awarded the Henry W. Hopkins Memorial Award. And that's a trophy that goes to a first-time exhibitor as an encouragement award. We'd also see Doug Hopkins. He took out most successful exhibitor in show last year from Chalicum Stud, and it's just such a special time to recognise the high standards of Australian wool. Australian wool, how does it compete on the global stage?
So in my experience, Australian wool is definitely the best out there. I'm fortunate to be involved in the Australian pipeline and to be actually able to see that firsthand. Look, in my experience, we are the Australian merino sits on a pedestal. The way people are able to manage it, our climate is so different. It fits into what we're doing, and being able to move and show that off to the rest of the world is pretty outstanding. So the links in Australian history, you know, Australia rode on the sheep's back, and that connection to Australia with the merino is just something pretty special in history.
Now, people would be remiss for thinking that wool is reserved for the jumper, the beanie, the socks, but you run a project called Wool for Every Day. Tell us a bit about that.
Yep, sure can. So it is. There's this bit of a stigma around the itchy woolly jumper, and when I do conferences or chat to people or things like this, you can't shut me up about wool. If I'm not wearing it, I'm thinking about it. It's hard to switch it off. So Wool for Every Day is about promoting wool, as it says, every day. It's not just for that itchy winter time. I've worn wool in 90% humidity in 36 degrees in Hong Kong. It's perfect for hiking. There's some amazing technologies coming out that have wool band-aids, or Australians who are innovating with wool to create different things as well. I'm up to my third pair of wool shoes, definitely all different brands and all made differently. But there's all different niches that wool can fit, and being such a natural fibre, it improves your health, it improves your own lifestyle, and to be supporting an industry like what we have in Australia. As much as I can auctioneer wool and it's sold once I drop that hammer, wool itself isn't sold until someone buys a product at the end. So definitely there to promote and encourage people to invest and purchase more wool products.
And finally, Sam, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Imagine we've got someone watching this right now who is looking forward to going to their first Royal Melbourne show in 2021. What are 3 must-do activities or must-eat foods or must-see sections of the show that is part of the Samantha Wan guide to the Royal Melbourne show?
Fantastic. The first stop should definitely be the Country Women's Association for those scones, to make sure you've got enough energy to continue on your whole journey for the rest of the day. Definitely step into the milking barn and get hands-on and really see what is there to milk a cow, and to understand that connection between milk and the milk in your fridge. And then of course you need to go through and see those award winners that will be waiting there in the fleece section, who have put aside the rivalry and are probably now discussing how to take on next year and win more awards. Definitely checking out those fleeces and seeing the cream of the crop in Australia.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic guide to a wonderful, robust day at the Royal Melbourne Show. Did you know 15,000 of those CWA scones are consumed during the 11 days of the show? Just extraordinary. We Victorians absolutely love our scones, it appears. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us on Celebrating the Show Online, and we'll see you at the real show next year.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Lyndsey. Looking forward to it.